Imagine a world where your daily commute was a life or death gamble, and your dinner could literally eat you. That was reality for our ancestors, 4.2 million years ago. Today, we're going on a wild journey, way back in time to the dawn of humanity. We're talking about a period in prehistoric Africa so ancient, so untamed, it makes the Stone Age look like a vacation. What was it really like to exist when the world was raw and unforgiving? You're about to discover the brutal, beautiful, and utterly relentless daily struggle of our earliest ancestors. Long before fire, before advanced tools, before anything resembling comfort. This isn't just history. It's the primal blueprint of survival that shaped us all. Picture East Africa, 4.2 million years ago. Forget the sweeping savannas you see on nature documentaries today. Back then, it was a mosaic. Thick woodlands, dense bushland along river systems, and patches of emerging grasslands. It was humid, it was hot, and it was absolutely teeming with life, not all of it friendly. This was home to Australopithecus anamensis, one of our earliest known human ancestors. They were bipedal, meaning they walked on two legs, but still spent a good chunk of their time in the trees, a crucial adaptation for both finding food and, more importantly, finding safety. Their day didn't start with an alarm clock. It started with the sun and the immediate urgent need for survival. There were no homes, no shelters beyond what nature provided, a cave, a dense thicket of thorns, or the high branches of a tree. Every morning was a gamble, every rustle in the grass a potential threat. They weren't at the top of the food chain, not by a long shot. They were prey, constantly. Living in prehistoric Africa meant sharing your backyard with some truly terrifying neighbors. We're talking about saber-toothed cats, not the fluffy ones you see in cartoons, but apex predators with fangs like steak knives, capable of taking down animals much larger than any hominin. There were enormous hyenas that could crush bone, and massive Nile crocodiles lurking in every watering hole. Even the birds of prey were bigger, their talons ready to snatch a small child from an open clearing. For these early hominins, every step was a calculated risk. Moving through dense foliage meant being aware of snakes, scorpions, and other hidden dangers. Descending from a tree for water meant exposing themselves to the open, vulnerable to attack. They survived not through strength or advanced weaponry, but through constant vigilance, speed, and their ability to blend into the environment, a skill that literally meant the difference between life and a quick, brutal end. Imagine the sheer raw terror they must have felt, day in and day out, simply trying to exist. Forget hunting for sport. For Australopithecus anamensis, finding food was a full-time, desperate job. They were primarily foragers, which meant endless hours searching for edible plants. Roots, tubers, wild fruits when they were in season, nuts, insects, every calorie counted. They probably scavenged too, if they could get to a carcass before the big predators or hordes of vultures. This wasn't about choosing what you wanted to eat. It was about eating anything that wouldn't kill you. Water was equally vital and equally dangerous. Rivers and lakes were magnets for thirsty animals, including the most ferocious predators. Getting a drink meant a moment of vulnerability, with their heads down, exposing their necks. And there were no purification systems, no clean bottles. Every sip carried the risk of parasites or disease. Life expectancy was incredibly low, probably in the low 20s, and childhood mortality was astronomically high. Many babies didn't make it past their first few years, falling victim to disease, predators, or simple starvation. So, how did they make it? what allowed them to persist and, eventually, evolve. Their bipedalism was a game changer. Walking upright freed their hands to carry food, tools, even very basic ones like sticks or unworked stones, or their young. It also allowed them to see further over tall grasses, giving them a precious few extra seconds to spot a predator. They weren't making sophisticated tools yet, that would come later, but they understood their environment deeply. They knew which plants were safe to eat, where the water sources were, and which trees offered the best protection. Social bonds were also absolutely critical. Living in small groups offered a measure of safety in numbers. More eyes and ears to spot danger, more hands to gather food, and the ability to collectively defend against smaller threats. A sick or injured individual might have been left behind, but there was also an innate drive to protect the young and cooperate for survival. This rudimentary sense of community was the bedrock upon which all future human societies would be built. Let's try to truly put ourselves in their worn, calloused feet. Imagine waking up before dawn, the air heavy with the scent of damp earth and distant fear. Your stomach growls, a constant companion. Your first task is to climb down from the relative safety of your tree, scanning every shadow, every movement. You spend hours, maybe a whole day, foraging, scrabbling for roots, shaking branches for fruit, digging for insects. Every successful find is a minor victory. You hear the roar of a distant lion, the high-pitched shriek of a monkey signaling danger. Your heart pounds. You move with purpose, always vigilant, always aware. As evening approaches, the race is on. To find another safe place to rest, preferably high off the ground. You huddle with your small group, the cries of nocturnal predators echoing through the darkness. There's no comfort, no respite, only the primal drive to survive another night, to see another dawn. Every single day was a testament to resilience, a masterclass in the art of simply staying alive against overwhelming odds. Life, 4.2 million years ago in prehistoric Africa, was a brutal, uncompromising existence. Our Australopithecus and immensus ancestors faced constant threats from powerful predators, the relentless struggle for food and water, and the ever-present danger of disease or injury. Yet, through their emerging bipedalism, keen environmental awareness, and crucial social bonds, they persevered, laying the fundamental groundwork for the incredible journey of human evolution. What do you think was the toughest challenge for our ancestors back then? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive into prehistoric survival fascinating, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the ancient world.